Hello and welcome to Playing Favorites. I'm Justin.
I'm Paul. Hello.
There he is. He's over there. We
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
I can look at you now.
this is the first time
Glare at
we.
you.
I know we got excited about doing the video podcast last week. We're like, well, we'll try it again, or I kind of coaxed people to do it.
People. Yes. We coax the other employees of the podcast to do it. Yes, here we are on a screen and in
So
your ears still.
yes, you can still hear us at the places you're used to hearing us. But if you want to see us, I think we're going to put this on our Patreon page. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, thank you for joining in to us. Our back to our regular scheduled program. I think last couple weeks ago we said we were going to do our topic for today. We finally got, I guess, the rust off or the depression off a little bit. We're going to talk about happy things. Well, depressing things
Try.
that that
What
that
Disney
have.
movies have to do with parents dying? I don't know.
But
Oof.
if you don't know who we are, though, this is Playing Favorites, where we actually talk about a variety of different topics across multiple different movies and video games and what have you, and sometimes even weirder stuff. But we just like to talk.
That's right. Every week we pick a category, like our category for this week, and just try to talk through why we like something so much. Other places where we do some talking and do some interaction is on our Patreon page, where you can find some bonus content. You can find the video version of this, and you can also become a patron, like our friends 8-Bit Sean and Mac 40K Painting. Thanks for
Yes,
your support, guys.
you guys are awesome. Enjoy those bonus episodes. I think we've done a few of them already. We have another one
hmm
coming up here at the end of the month.
Yep, working on June's bonus episode. You gave a little hint. I saw on our Patreon page too. I'm
I've,
not going
I,
to say it because I
I've,
feel
I've
like
done
it's
I've
too
done
hinty.
I've done hints for every one of them, so it's
I
fun.
know, but this one was really on the nose.
But anyways, today's
This
topic
is why it's
though.
good. This is why it's good to do video on the nose. See?
Jeez, yes. Moving on. Today's topic is if you weren't here a few weeks ago, is going to be favorite Disney animated movies. I was actually
Mhm.
surprised Paul was up for doing this. I guess he's changed his tune in the past year. He's watched a lot of movies lately.
I've had to sit through some, and I've actually enjoyed some. But anyway, like I've seen my fair share of them. But I'm ready to talk about them, I guess. So
Okay, well,
here I am.
before we get to our honorable mentions and favorites, you have a surprise topic for me?
Yes, I do. So Justin, I was thinking a lot about uh, what makes an animated Disney movie an animated Disney movie, and I've got like a couple questions.
Couple
The
questions.
main one, though, the main surprise topic for you is like one thing that I won't say all, but most animated Disney movies have in common is some manner of song and
Yeah,
dance.
that's what I thought. I thought that you'd ask
Um,
this question.
Damn it! I thought you were gonna think I was gonna ask the other one. I'm gonna ask you the other one too. But first, what's your favorite Disney song?
Oh, come on.
You
Uh, what was the other
can't
one?
say anything from
Let me
Mary
think of
Poppins
both.
too. That doesn't count.
Um, oh,
I'm a big fan. I'll tell you while
yeah,
you're
you
while you're
you
thinking.
always do this. I can't think. I can't. I'm bad under pressure. I have the cameras on me now. It's hard.
Don't sweat. You're okay.
Um, well, what do you have a favorite one? You could start there.
I really like "Be a Man" from Mulan. I think that's a really fun song.
Okay.
I really like the what's it? Oodalali Oodalali from Robin Hood. That like Robin Hood, Little John walking through the forest. I get that one stuck in my head all the time,
hmm
and I think that one would probably be my favorite one. Uh,
From Robin
but you know
Hood.
what? Like, yeah, from Robin Hood. I think the one from like Never Had a Friend Like Me from Aladdin is just like
That
it's
is a good
so
one.
much. It's a really good song. It's just like packed full of stuff.
So my when I first got a CD player, back in the day, on my computer because they didn't have Discmans yet.
Oh, but it was cool to listen to put your headphone jack into your
Because
computer and
it
listen
was
to music?
better. It was better quality. I mean, it sounded way better than a cassette. I mean, it actually did.
Oh yes.
I got
Oh
to use that
yes.
sound blaster. It made it sound great.
Audio blaster.
My first CD I ever bought was the Lion King soundtrack.
Nice.
And though that has some really good songs in it. I mean, Elton John did some really awesome stuff there. But I tended to buy a lot of the soundtracks from there on. I bought like Pocahontas. I played that over and over and over again. So
Colors of the Wind.
but man, I don't know. It's so hard. Like I don't know what. I mean, I the only one I can remember is A Whole New World from Aladdin. So that's the one that like gets stuck in my head for the most part. But I liked a lot of the Hercules. I don't know. I can't pick a favorite. You're making this way too hard for me.
Well, okay. I will say, okay. Well, there was a few good songs, if I remember. Were there more than a couple of good? Yeah, there was a couple of good songs in The Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
I love Under the Sea.
Under the Sea is great.
I still to this day don't know the lyrics. Like I just kind of hum it, and like I can do some of the parts, like maybe the end, but
Do
I
you
just
want me to?
start going yata 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 yata
That's
under
all you
the
need.
sea.
That's all you need to do. That's what it
That's
sounds
all.
like. As a kid, that's what it sounds like. Because you can't understand the accent very well.
Oh, and like even as an adult hearing the song, I'm like, it's just so much. I'm like, okay, even though it's hata under the water. It's good rhyming. I love it.
Oh man, it's that actually had like, some great. That's when like the music of Disney really started to take over a little bit. I mean, you had some really good songs from the older
Part of the world.
films, but like that whole era of just like music, like because I think the person that took over, I forget he was a Broadway producer, and I forget his name, Al Reichen or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Tim
That
Rice
sounds
or
kind of
something like
familiar.
that. Like he brought that Broadway mentality to Disney, like a lot more, and I think that's where that music sort of kind of came into. But a lot of time I like a lot of the music in Hercules too. I don't know why.
That was one, I don't know. I wanted to like that movie. I
I
just
thought it
didn't
was really
really.
fun. I thought it was fun. But what was your
Okay.
other question? I'm gonna get you a music question. I'm gonna think this through and get you
Okay.
my favorite song, I guess. Because
All right.
I don't know. I can't pick one. That seems like such a very hard topic, and I have to do research and listen to every song again to make sure. I can give you my favorite villain song though. I can do that.
Well, that does segue into my next question, which is who's your favorite animated Disney villain? So, who
Ah,
was your favorite Disney villain song then?
well, Be Prepared by Scar.
Well, okay, duh. And that's my favorite Disney villain, too, by the way.
I mean, but the
Oh,
song's great.
and Jeremy Irons
Hmm.
as Scar, man, he's freaking great.
Yes.
He's just perfect. He plays the just like he's always kind of like morose and angry and upset, and he is just the kind of person to like fool Simba, to be able to, and he plays like the coward really well. He's like, Simba, please, please, I'll leave you, and then he kicks lava in his face, not lava, brimstone or whatever.
Yeah, Ashes. I don't know.
Yeah, I love
Birdie.
him. He's a great villain, and I love that he wins. He wins for a long time,
Hmm.
uh, and he
Yep.
gets his dream of uniting hyenas and
And
lions.
destroying the
Oh wow,
world.
this was a dream. Yeah, really.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy what he like how much he destroyed that the Pride Lands. But favorite villain, huh? Oh, man, I should have thought you'd ask me this question. I guess Scar would be one of the better ones. I do like Jafar though. I have to say, I mean, he's a good villain
yeah,
in the shadows. Like it just like he fits the role of a villain. He's very villain looking. Like his goal makes sense. It's like it's actually smaller than you think it's gonna be, and then like as it like he gets more power, it grows. So like I don't know. I really like Jafar. I guess out of all the villains in the Disney repertoire.
that was the only sequel Disney movie that I was actually interested in seeing was Return of Jafar, because
Hmm.
that seemed like the ending of it was like, oh well, maybe there is, he could still be a factor. He still has his powers, obviously, but Jafar, I love Jafar, and I forget the name of his parrot, played by Gilbert Gottfried. They're awesome.
Oh
They're
yeah,
just like
yeah,
they're just funny together.
yeah.
And
And the
like
parrot becomes a good guy eventually, which I find funny. That's
I
what
think in
happens.
the animated series they just turned him good
No, he's
because
good in the. He becomes good in the Return of Jafar. That's what happens.
okay. Oh, so
He
it's canon.
Yeah,
It's canon.
he gets out of the lamp, and he has to like prove himself to Aladdin, and then becomes their friend at the end, and he helps them beat Jafar.
Oh,
It's yeah, that's. I remember that. Remember, like I liked that movie because I watched this Return the sequel, but it was like really short. It was
oh,
like an hour long, and I'm like, well, that's all it
yeah.
is. But the third
That's weird.
sequel was the better one. I like the third one more.
I didn't know there was a third one.
Yeah, you meet Aladdin's dad. He was part of the Prince of Thieves.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's it called?
Aladdin, the
Aladdin and the.
Prince of Thieves.
You should have seen that one coming.
But it's like him like coming to terms with getting married, and like him like it's like deals with him like trying to commit to Jasmine because he doesn't really want to like commit to like being a king or a sultan. So he has like one last romp, and they like find like some random ancient city with his dad. It's
One last romp.
I don't know.
That's good. Well, I'm glad for Aladdin, I guess. He had like a bachelor party
Yep.
after he was married.
He wasn't married yet. He never got married because Jafar returned, so they couldn't have the wedding.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I know a lot about Aladdin. Like, I did my research.
so like those Disney sequels though. For a while, I was like, "What are you doing, Disney?" Like
No,
Cinderella 2,
they just pumped them out.
Sleeping Beauty 2.
They're
Yeah, it was
they're
awesome.
not bad. I mean, you've said that you've watched a lot of Disney movies recently because of Parenthood. I think that's
Yeah.
why. But I've been doing that because we did the whole Disney movies club, so we were getting like all these because they would just bundle in the sequels with the discs. So
Oh,
like there's like the Mulan sequel, all those things. They're not horrible. I don't understand why they went that direction, but
maybe they felt like instead of making an animated series for each of these, we could just make sequels.
But they did.
Just do like.
They had
Well, yeah, that's true.
they did a mermaid series, an Aladdin series. They did a Hercules series. They did a Tarzan series.
I don't remember a Little Mermaid series.
Yeah,
That's
they
funny.
did. I used to watch it all the time.
Oh, wow.
I like Disney.
I don't remember the Hercules series either, or the.
Maybe there was a maybe.
Maybe
I thought there was a
there
Hercules.
was a Tarzan.
It was with Tarzan when he was a kid. I'm pretty sure there was a Hercules series though. I'm gonna find that out in the break.
Okay. You let me know.
Well, speaking of, I think we should take a break.
Yes, you better come up with an answer to my first question, though. I'm going to hold that to you.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna listen to them right now.
All right. Well, we better take a break for about 16 hours to listen to them all.
We'll be back in just a moment.
And we're back. Justin, you're going to start us off with your first honorable mention of favorite animated Disney film. But before we do that, here you are under the gun. Time for you to give me your favorite animated Disney song ever.
So to save myself for future, I don't know, judgment, my favorite animated song for today is the Bare Necessities. I'm going to go with Bare Necessities.
Oh, from the Jungle Book?
Yes. It's a very good song.
All right.
It's very short. It's sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think people give it enough credit. I think it's a good, song. Has a good message. And it doesn't get repetitive.
And it's sung by a bear.
I know. That sounds like John Goodman. I mean, it's great.
I love that guy who does the voice of Baloo. He does Little John in Robin Hood too. I think
he does.
I love that guy. That voice for like a big bear. That's like what I associate like a bear character sounds like.
Well, the funny thing is, as a kid, you even registered that too, right? You're like, are they the same person? Are they the same animal?
Is that the same bear? Did he turn into Little John?
Did he just change color? Did he dye himself? I don't understand.
moved to England and he
And then they had the series for the Jungle Book too with Tailspin. So it's like
oh my god, I remember Tailspin. I loved Tailspin.
favorite
Oh my goodness, I
favorite
completely forgot about
favorite
that
Disney
show.
animated series coming next spring.
Tailspin. That the kit with his little flying disc thingy.
Yep, and they got the
He'd
Space
go on the
Pirates.
back of the What's that?
They got the Space
The
Pirates, or
pirate?
the Sky Pirates. Sorry, I don't know. Same difference.
Yes. Yes. And Shere Khan was in it. He was like some like financier though.
He
He
was like
wasn't
the business owner of everything,
Mhm.
and then you had Louis that had a gym and juice bar. I'm kidding. It was a juice. I think it was a juice bar though. I don't think it was an actual like bar.
No, Baloo didn't drink.
Yeah.
He was on the juice. Well, yes, we'll talk about Tailspin.
Yeah, those are all on Disney Plus, and I remember putting it on a couple episodes for the kids when they're like, "Do you want to watch old Disney shows with me? Like, let me pick the show for a change." So I show them Rescue Rangers, and I show them Tailspin.
Oh.
Yeah, those are all on there. But I know
Tailspin's got a great intro. I just gotta say.
Oh, I know.
Tailspin.
favorite animated song right there. Intro to Tailspin.
That's it.
But we're not here to talk about Disney animated series. But that's what happens with Disney. They own everything, so you just talk about everything.
It's hard to differentiate. So,
Yeah.
what is your first honorable mention?
So this is sort of a tough one because I really like Disney movies a lot, and I feel like a lot of my opinions of movies have changed because of this video game right here. But I think what I'm going to do for my first honorable mention is I am going to go with let's just talk about Hercules because I love Hercules. I know you don't like Hercules.
You know what? I liked things about it. It was good.
I like the change of animated style. I liked it wasn't trying to be too serious, I guess, because a lot of I think they were like after some of the other ones we might talk about later in the show, they were trying to almost outdo themselves. So it was like trying to be like this almost like this major movie event, and it almost forgot an example because I'm only going to shout it out. I don't think it's something you're going to mention either. Is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I like that movie personally, but I felt like it was trying to be too serious, and seriously the bad guy is a priest and he gets just killed by the devil at the end. So it's
it's been a while since I've seen that.
Well, he falls off the Notre Dame and the city is burning because there's a revolution going on, and as he's falling, a gargoyle comes down. He's holding the gargoyle, and it transforms into a devil-looking creature. Because he's just seeing he's becoming crazy. So it almost became they were trying to up its game all of a sudden. The animation quality, make it look realistic, make it as this major crazy event. But then Hercules comes out. It's no, we're just gonna go with this weird stylized looking thing. Have this kind of weird almost like a what's the other movie Sword in the Stone kind of vibe where you have references to the future because he has the sports drink and just sort of that kind of weird tone to it, adding that gospel singing to all the muses.
I did like that. The muses. I did like that. They're the chorus in a Greek play or something. So they come in and kind of explain things as the story goes.
Yep. And then obviously
there were good things about it.
Hades, phenomenal representation villain. Because you have what's the actor? James Woods. He just did that so well. I just enjoyed it a lot. And then they didn't really throw the romance into your face too much. I mean, granted, they have Meg and stuff. It's sort of that kind of he's in love with her, but it's not. I mean, it's the reason he becomes a true hero in the end. But I feel they handle it differently because she's actually not. You know what I mean? She's kind of working with Hades.
Exactly. She's working with Hades. She's not she's kind of she almost knows what she is. She's I'm the damsel in distress. I'm supposed to be luring him to his destruction.
Yeah.
But she actually, so it's they're kind of poking fun at Disney movies at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I get it. It's fun, and yeah, the animation is the animation style is unique for sure.
There's a
No,
montage. I mean, come
there's
on.
cool things. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of stuff in it though. It was
And you
like,
got Danny DeVito. He's like perfect. Come on, it's got like such a good cast of characters.
come on, grab your sword.
But I do like a lot of the songs in that. I don't know why. I just like there's a lot of the music in that movie. Like I like again the music in the beginning. I can't. I'm bad with the names of the song of that one. But like it just I don't know. It's so hard to like spend a lot of time talking about the Hercules like these movies though, because I mean obviously it's a great one. But who was Zeus was voiced by what's his name from he was in Men in Black. He was the Zed.
Tommy Lee Jones.
No, Zed like the main Men in Black guy. He was also like, oh god, what's his...
Oh yes, Rip Torn.
Yeah, I think that was the voice of Zeus. But there's
he was in the Dodgeball movie, right?
I think so. But the other reason
dodge a wrench, you could dodge a dodgeball.
Yes, that's right.
I think that's the same guy.
I think so. But it just like I guess like another reason I like the Hercules movies is because of Kingdom Hearts because he's like such a big part of that game. So like whenever I go back to rewatching it and going through it, it's like I remember like being really excited because I'm like I thought there'd be a sequel to that one because he fights all the Titans at the end, and I love how they handle like all the Titans for some reason. How they're like different gigantic monsters like cyclones and like random things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like they represent like the elements, right? Like they're just huge representations of like Earth's forces. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just
good.
who
fought the Titans better? Was it Kratos or Hercules?
I mean, Hercules seemed to make it easier. I mean,
that's true. He did do it faster.
He did it very fast.
Hercules did do it better. Faster is better.
Oh man, that's really funny. I'm
well,
trying.
You know what? I'm going to change my tune on it. It's been a bit since I've seen.
You should. I mean, I know you're revisiting old flames here. Maybe you should give Hercules a better shot. You know, it's got some good stuff in it. And I mean, James Woods though, he's great. The nice thing about it is like those actors, they keep reprising their role. Even in the Kingdom Hearts game, they just keep coming back and doing their voices for it. Just like I think it's funny, like Disney just keeps these people like, yeah, we're gonna need you for Hercules. Come on, get over here.
That's good. Well, I have to just give out a quick shout out here because you made me think about it. Because one of the only Disney movies I watched in my high school and college days was thanks to you. And I don't know why I thought about it. And you had sold it to me. I was interested in seeing it because I thought the animation, because it was really like a lot of computer animation. It looked really cool and different. And that's Atlantis. Welcome to Atlantis.
It's actually pretty bad.
Not a good movie. But I remember it was remarkable because you had said like, yeah, it's a Disney movie, but there are no songs in it, and I was like, I'll take a look at this.
Sure.
And I don't know why. Like something about I liked Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's
no,
like the Loch Ness Monster. It was one of those things I liked.
It's not horrible by any means. It's just to me it was never memorable like as some of the other ones were.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I think the songs sort of make it memorable, even though it's like nice to see one that doesn't have one. But that's the only thing I think that kind of keeps the glue to those old animated kind of films working. Otherwise, it just would have no substance. It'd be like, yeah, that's the movie. Thanks for watching.
Would the Lion King be the Lion King without the music?
No.
I don't know. Be a pretty thin plot. I mean, you have to do a lot more story.
I mean, the first like 15 minutes is just them going in a circle and like looking at something. It's
you meant just silent. The sound of
well, it's like this is way off topic, but it's Disney. It's like watching the ceremony scene at the end of A New Hope without the audio, where it's just this clap.
Chewbacca, like growling.
But no, I remember being I think I was more disappointed with Atlantis because I remember seeing the trailer. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be like anime. Like it had like this anime sort of style to it.
And it was trying to do something interesting with the animation. I think that's why we were both kind of interested to see what it was about.
Hmm. But Michael, I think that had Michael J. Fox too as the main
Yeah,
character.
as a scientist dude. It's funny to think it's almost like they wasted Michael J. Fox on that movie. Like he should be used as the lead in a different movie.
I'm sure. I'm
Uh,
sure. What I should rewatch it just to give myself another chance because that's one of the ones I've just never gone back to. Um,
we would say that to each other so often. Welcome to Atlantis.
you
Like
know, because it.
even
Well,
when we like visit each other, to be like, you come into your house and be like, "Welcome to
yeah.
Atlantis."
Well, the reason why it was so, I guess that part was so memorable because it's like you just got like this, like I don't know, like them just kind of in a sub, just like very static scenes, nothing much going on, and it's just like all of a sudden, main girl character, whatever the Atlantean, like it's just in your face. It's like welcome to it. It's dark. It's like went from like dark blue ocean to bright white lights. It's like
Yep, and then showing off the city. But yeah,
uh,
that's about as much as we need to talk about
is
Atlantis.
that a shout out? I'm hoping.
It was a shout out.
Okay.
My first honorable mention is a movie I saw a couple times when I was younger. Saw it a couple times very recently, and my outlook on that movie has changed completely. It's a very fun movie. It's Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's packed full of stuff. Like Hook and Mr. Smee are like the best parts of the movie
Mm-hmm.
by far. If you
Mm-hmm.
ask me, Pan is a dick.
Pan's
Tinkerbell,
horrible. Yeah, Pan's horrible.
Tinkerbell tries to kill Wendy.
Yep.
Like legit tries to kill Wendy,
Yep.
and the Lost Boys are just dumbasses. Like it's and there is a so racist depiction of Native Americans. It is not even funny.
It's I remember finally
It is
because we
hard to watch.
we don't own that one for some reason. I think that's why because we used to send Callista to like this like 3-hour daycare and she watched it there a couple times. They were just showing it there, so we rented it from the library. I'm just like, man, this movie is not what I remember. It's I still like it because it's just that nostalgia vibe to it, right? You know,
Yeah,
but
it's like it's hard to ignore the blatant racism in it. It is like the movie itself is fun, and like my son, like watching it with him, like he is like all into pirates, and so this movie was like right up his alley. He was like enjoying it, and that part, it is fun, and like the stuff like the pratfalls with Hook trying to get away from the crocodile.
Yep.
It's really good animation. Like I really appreciate what they did with that movie, but man, oh man, like you can't. It's like I like as that like scene was unfolding, I'm like sweating, like looking at my son, like, oh great, I'm gonna have to explain this one.
Well, that's the thing for
And
kids. I don't think they see those things, right? They don't notice those things. Like we didn't notice it. Obviously, maybe it wasn't a thing back then. But like,
well, it's like it's more like I wanna talk to him. He didn't really, yeah, like he didn't like say anything about it, but it's almost like I can't let that go without saying like something. It was like, this is how they depicted these people. It's not very nice, but
mm-hmm.
this is how they did it,
Yep.
and just like it's part of the conversation.
Sure.
Unfortunately, you can't get away from it.
That's
Also, how murderous and vindictive Tinkerbell is. Like,
she hates Whimsy.
I
She
had no
hates
idea.
Whimsy. Yeah. Yeah, and they really like I think like really sexualized her a lot at the same time. Like, so it's
I
funny
was
because I had the VHS because my mom would like go out and buy those like gigantic VHS cassettes that he would sell, like the
clamshell.
yeah like every time a new one it's out of the vault, we got to get it. But I remember we got the Peter Pan one. And there was like a behind the scenes stuff. It's really interesting their mindset for that movie because that was I don't think Disney was really making a lot of like really kind of big like they had your sleeping your Snow White, but then they didn't have a lot of like one like big memorable ones between that. I think Peter Pan was like one of the next ones, maybe or Pinocchio maybe.
Okay.
But like they went to like the radio dramas who did Peter Pan. they hired them to do the voices and acting, and they people that had already
Really?
played the roles were
Oh,
from radio, because like that was like where they found their voice actors were from radio dramas. So I think that was it's sort of interesting. I think that's why they got good performances out of them, especially Hook.
yeah.
Because that they try to follow that mentality. Because I remember used to watching a different very old Peter Pan play, and they recorded it. My parents had recorded it. It's like it's a video movie format of Peter Pan, and it was kind of the same thing. They followed the same kind of rhythm they did. Like you always made the dad act. Whoever was the actor of the dad was always the actor of Hook. That's what they
Yep.
always used to do.
Same voice, same person, if you can. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting how they handled the performances of that to really kind of represent maybe what people's thoughts of Peter Pan was, or from just other media. So, but no, I love Peter Pan. Don't get me wrong. I grew up loving that movie. It's a tough. Oh, and they're just the discussion of Tinkerbell, of how they like try to they showed different designs of her, of like trying to like represent different represent flapper girls and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I always thought that that was like a modern thing, like over sexualizing of Disney characters. And then watching
No.
this movie, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
Tinkerbell
Yeah.
is like thirsty for Pan, man. It's like,
Yep.
take it easy.
Yep.
Like, slow down.
Hey, they
She's
showed that
ready to
often. They showed that off in Hook. The movie Hook with Julia Roberts.
That's true, and that's why I think I like this movie more now, is because I love Hook.
Yeah.
And yeah, Julia Roberts like basically comes out and says it like,
It's like,
she's
yeah.
like, I'm in love with you.
It's like,
And he's like, why can't you see that? And he's like, huh?
I'm married. I don't know.
I love that movie. I
good movie.
love Hook so
Good
much.
movie.
Can't wait till we can watch Hook. But yeah, so
Um,
Peter Pan is mine.
Gotcha.
Do you have another honorable mention? I'm
I'm gonna shout out something. I feel like I need to shout out something, because I really love all the Disney movies, and this is really. I thought this would be easier going into this. I'll be completely honest with you.
Now it's getting more hard. I will say what's good about them, like almost all of them, they are a tight 90 minutes. Like you get in, get your story, and you get out. Like it's a very it's definitely good for kids. I can tell like just by like seeing what's going on in the movie, like how far we are. It's like, oh, we've got maybe like 15 minutes left here. We're gonna resolve this, and then we'll be done. So, no, they're always like a nice tight 90 minutes or so.
So my other honorable mention. No, not honorable mention. Shout out. I'm gonna shout out. I have two shout outs. You don't have to spend a lot of time on them.
Okay.
I'm gonna say The Rescue is Down Under.
Okay.
Is that all you have to say? It's okay.
I remember when that movie came out, and I remember like seeing the images of it. I never saw the rescuers or when they went down under. Sorry, I remember seeing them, the pictures and stickers. McDonald's.
The first one is very dark because they go to Louisiana and they're fighting alligators, and it's like animations like that old 60s animation, like 70s animation, where it's like kind of weirdly drawn.
One Dalmatian.
Yeah, or even like Jungle Book. The reason why they did that because they were the production.
Xeroxing.
Yep, that's right, Xeroxing to help produce the movies.
Time in Disney's history.
Yeah, but they just are trying to be fast with their animation process. But I don't know. I've always just I just want to shout them out because I always remember loving that film because it has to do with like protecting eagles in the Down Under, which is Australia. It's just like they go save a boy is kidnapped by a bunch of poachers because he's trying to save a baby eagle, and I don't know. It was always fun. I always liked the whole characters of I can't remember. It's like her name is like Russian because she's from Russia. Because the mice are part of this kind of society of secret agents.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you haven't seen this, but yeah, that they have like a united nation of mice that go off on missions to save little kids because they get like
Oh,
messages in a bottle and they find the message in the bottle like I've been kidnapped and like okay you two, United States it's your turn, Russia it's your turn, you get two people go, and the mice go save them. That's the point of the rescuers. Uh,
okay.
but
I like that.
yep, it's good. The Down Under one though I like because the animation was better because it was obviously made later on. It was made in the '90s, so they just had a better quality look to it, and it was just I don't know, it was a lot more fun. So that's one shout out. We'll spend time
Okay.
on that one.
Rescue Down Under.
Um, and the other shout out I will say because I would love to just shout them all out is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay. All
Um,
right.
I don't know why. I think that one took me off guard a little bit. I was surprised at
Mhm.
how fun it was. Again, one that doesn't really have any songs in it. It's just the concept of them just like going nuts and almost like breaking away from the normal Disney model of like let's copy a story. I feel like that was an original story that they just made. I don't think it
Okay.
was copying anything. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I
Uh,
know what the premise is of it. I've seen maybe bits of it, but
I
not
don't
the
know.
whole film.
Stitch is fun. The fact that they just go to Hawaii and it takes place in like modern day times. I don't know. There's just something fun about it. I mean, I just remember really enjoying it. Like I remember watching because I would watch a lot of these obviously because my brother's a lot younger than me, so I didn't like really ever go away from the Disney train. I just kind of
Hmm.
kept going with it. So that
Just
kind of
kept getting more tickets.
yep. So that came out when he was young, and I just remember having a good amount of time with it. But
Okay.
my next honorable mention, and I think I'm picking this just for nostalgia's sake, and it's because I've watched the movie over and over and over again as a kid, and that's going to be the if I could find it right, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I think this would be my wife's favorite. It's
Um,
probably up there for her.
I think the what about that's interesting about that one is, granted, I loved it as a kid. I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid. I don't know. I think a lot of people did. I love Tigger. Who doesn't like Tigger? Because you don't like Tigger. She's
No, I
fine.
just wanted to raise my
T
hand.
T I
Oh, I'm
double
sorry.
T I
I
double.
like Piglet.
Piglet's good. The worrywart.
I like just doing Piglet's voice and making my son laugh.
hmm
I just go, oh no.
I don't know.
Because he's such a wiener.
You have to stutter when you're Piglet though.
Pooh.
But I don't know. I've always enjoyed the. I mean, as a kid, I mean, obviously, I don't see these things because you're not like, well, yes, this is a very well-made movie with these cool effects, and it's like I really like the performance of Winnie the Pooh. He nailed it.
A vocal performance. Clearly, they had great acting
But I
coaches.
think maybe because it was different from a lot of the other ones too. Like I like kind of like the weird thing. Obviously, that's a trend, right? I liked Hercules because it's different. Leo and Stitch is different.
Sure.
Um, but Winnie the Pooh was different because it was like a bunch of short stories. They all kind of connected, but I love the concept of them talking with the narrator and how they're actually like inside of the book. Like that was so awesome. Like they're falling down the letters and they zoom in on the book and it's like you're in a picture book. And it just
Hmm.
like I just love that. And plus I just love the characters and the stories are fun and I remember I used to like loving watching the Tigger one where he gets lost in the they get lost in the woods and he gets stuck on the tree. And I like how he like gets tipped, like the author tips the book so he can get out of the tree.
Oh,
So he just like tips him and he slides down the letters. I don't know. I love that. The animation's cool and just and the songs are kind of catchy. They're not like it's not overkill though. They don't like it's all like little kids playing around and imagination songs. So that would be my reason I liked it. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. I don't think I've seen all of that or any of it, to be honest.
Doesn't sound
I'm
familiar.
pretty sure I've seen because I remember watching the animated, just like the animated series, like
hmm
the Disney animated series, The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
No,
It
the
was.
the movie's great because it's just like I would say it's like four short stories in
Hmm.
one book in one movie, And that's sort of what Winnie the Pooh's like what it's based on. That's what it is. Just a bunch of little adventures with Christopher Robin.
Yep. The Pooh
And
gets stuck. And,
yeah, Pooh gets stuck. The him well, 'cause that starts with him getting the honey from with the balloon. He's just a little
Yep.
black rain cloud.
Yep. You see, I know the book, and I've read those like many times. We have a lot of those.
Then there's the Huffalumps. That's creepy. That song is really creepy.
Wasn't that way later, the Huffalump?
No, they're in the first one. They make a movie about Huffalumps. They made a sequel.
Yeah, okay.
But no, the Huffalumps were in the first one because that's when he first meets Tigger. Tigger comes in and he's like, "Oh, you got to watch out for the Huffalumps and Woozles," and then the whole thing he's dreaming about whatever a Huffalump and a Woozle is. He's just using his imagination. But I don't know. I just wanted to give a credit to like some of the older films because I mean, obviously, we all grew up in the '90s, so I'm gonna like love a lot of the ones that came out then. But
sure,
no, I wanted to.
Right on.
I did like Winnie the Pooh a lot, so
I will have to check that one out. I think I'm going to put that on our watch list to watch with our son because he loved the books. I mean, we read the books quite a bit. He knows those inside and out.
Oh, and Gopher. Gopher's good. He's not in the book, you know.
Oh, I do like Gopher. Yes, I do Gopher's voice when I read the books. I don't think it's like his.
He's the only character that was.
Time for a midnight snack.
He was. He wasn't in the. He was made for the movie though. He was the only one that wasn't in the original books. And
he wasn't in Pooh Gets Stuck.
No, but he wasn't in the actual books it's based on. Like he was a character made for the film.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
the books that are based on the
movie.
Disney, like
no,
Disney
but like
property.
again, this is like based on a book that was written by an English author.
Of course.
Because
by Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was written by Obi-Wan Kenobi way back when.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, it was written by Ewan McGregor.
No,
he was in that Christopher Robin movie.
No, but he's
he plays the author.
No, he's Christopher Robin in the movie.
Is he?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Hello there.
That was a good movie, by the way. I actually cried a little bit. Anyways,
I like the animation of them, like the digital effects of the like the stuffed animals. I thought that was neat.
Oh, it was good. It was actually a good story. I liked it. Amber forced me to watch it. She's like, "You're gonna like this. I know you will." I'm like, "Okay, I like this. You're right."
Well, I have one that I like to say is an honorable mention as well, and it's more of a personal connection than if it's a really like a great movie or not, because it's probably Disney has some really decent movies. It's not one of their best.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not a ranking thing for sure.
Yeah, but I just loved it. I loved it the first time I saw it. It's The Sword and the Stone.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's just crazy. It's a clusterfuck of stuff happening. Like every 5 minutes.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, yep, you're right.
Characters change. It's like 10 different movies. Oh my god, dude. It's like 10 different movies packed into one.
I remember getting that movie when my book came out of the vault like the first time because I would always be excited when one came out, and I was just like, "I'm gonna watch this! I'm so excited!" And I watched it, and I'm like, "Yeah, that was great! I think." What happened?
You see that? It was I saw somebody had written about it that it was a movie in desperate need of a villain.
Yeah, there isn't. Yeah, there's not a bad guy, is there?
There isn't real. You have mini bosses.
Oh,
like,
you have like the bullies.
They're like there's one of them. I think it's like her name is like Min or something.
Oh, I don't remember.
She's like a shapeshifter. She's in the Kingdom Hearts games. Like that's like her Min, maybe.
I'm trying to remember who it is now.
She turns into like a crocodile and like a dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Hair.
Yep.
Might be familiar to you Kingdom Hearts players. But she's from Sword in the Stone. She's like but she's more like Merlin's enemy than she is or Archimedes. I love that owl.
Yep.
And I like the time when he's a fish, like it's fine, it's fun, but the time when he's a squirrel, that's again more like Disney like sexualizing animals. And like the female squirrel is like hitting on Wart pretty hard, and when he turns back into a human, she's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah,
like so upset. He's back to being a human.
I know that was a really weird
Yeah.
trend, wasn't it? Like everything had to be animals during that time. It's like the animators, like, yeah, we're just gonna buy animators that know how to draw animals. We're just gonna hire them.
They're good at it. They're very good at it. It's just so like I couldn't tell you if you were to ask me like as a child when I like loved the movie, what the movie's about. I couldn't tell you. I could just be like, he's a fish, and then he's a squirrel, and then he pulls the sword from the stone, and the movie's over, and then he's king.
Yep.
Like the whole point, like the sword in the stone itself takes like 5 minutes of the movie. Like
Oh
it
yeah.
has like
Yeah.
almost nothing to do with the movie.
It's all about him like learning things as animals, and it's like it's odd. It's funny because we put this on months ago when we first got Disney Plus. It was on there, and I was just like, oh, the kids are like, let's watch that one. They just like the cover art or something.
Yeah.
And they got into it, and I don't think we finished it though because they had to go to bed, and they never asked to continue on.
The same exact thing happened with our son. Like we watched it with our son, and he just like he watched, and we were like excited, and then we went to bed, and he was like never said a word about it again. He was just like, nah,
Yeah,
nah.
it's like we don't
You want
know.
to watch it? Nah, let's watch a new movie. So one thing I like. What's funny is I did read the book by what is his name, like shit, I forget his name now. Anyways, he dedicates the book to the guy Sir Thomas Mallory, the one who originally wrote the Arthur stories. God damn it, it's not T.S. Eliot. I keep thinking T.S. Eliot, but it's like an initials and a name. T.E. Eliot? No, it's gonna be anyway. The book is very similar to the movie.
Really?
Just every chapter was like a new lesson from Merlin. He's going to transform into an animal. He's going to go to some crazy place. So the movie is actually kind of doing the book justice, but that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
It's probably better as a book. It's probably better to read it than to see it. I mean, you know what I mean?
It is hard to read though. It is just like so batshit crazy that you're like, okay, I guess this is what's happening now. If you're going to read a book in that style, I would recommend reading
T.H. White.
T.H. White, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
I would rather read A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, which does the whole idea of like modern stuff being referenced in ancient days, like in medieval times. Does it a lot better than this. But you know what? Like it is that Xerox era of animation. But I don't know. I just loved it. I loved Archimedes the Owl. I loved Wart and Kay, the guy who is the knight. In the actual book, they're like actually the same age, which makes it, I guess, a little bit more difficult because one is like destined to be a knight, and Wart is destined to be, you know, the best he could be as a squire, I guess, or just like a stable boy.
Yep.
Whatever. I would recommend watching it in like 15-minute increments.
He's destined to be a squirrel to marry that squirrel that he met. I think that they were meant to be.
Yeah. That's my honorable mention. A movie that I don't recommend watching.
Hey, 90% of Google users like it. Just so you know.
Oh, thank you. 90% of Google users.
Metacritic score is 61%.
But Justin, I want to know how many Bing users love it.
Bing.
That's really the.
Let me use my computer. Let me use my work computer. Hold on.
Could you please look up the Netscape users? That's whose opinion I really care about.
Well, on that note, we're going to find out what we think about our favorite movies after this break.
How about it? We'll be right back. And we're back in exactly the same place we were, right? Nothing's changed. There's a map back there.
Yep, I don't see anything different. I mean, the map looks a little smaller, but I guess it could be. I mean, I've had a few, so you know, I mean, it could have been.
It's a little forced perspective. You know,
gotcha.
You just can't see.
Gotcha.
The back there.
I guess our audio listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
Suddenly, I changed locations.
Go to
Uh,
Patreon and find out what we're saying.
yeah, no,
Um,
that's the way. So, Justin,
anyways, what are we talking about?
now's the time. We were talking about favorite animated Disney films, and it's the time now to share your favorite. I think I know what it is, but I may not be right. I'm not
Well, the
sure.
reason why is I thought like, before the show, you're like, I think I know what it is. I'm like, well, you haven't seen it before because you were like when I've seen it. I'm like, but last time you talked, you didn't see it. So I think you're right though. It's Beauty and the Beast.
All right, yeah, okay,
Because
okay.
when we
I
talked about
thought
this
it might.
last year, we brought this up in the show. You hadn't seen it yet, but I guess what? You recently you've seen it.
Correct. Like a couple months ago, I saw it with my son. Yep, we had a family movie night and watched Beauty and the Beast, and I was honestly surprised. I enjoyed it too. Like I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no, it's it will always be like my favorite. It's hard for me to surpass it with all the other great films that came out around that era. I mean, there was such a good run, through the '90s there. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with anyone picking like a '90s animated film as their favorite. You
So
know,
like this one, Little Mermaid, Lion King. What else? There was another one
Aladdin,
in there. Aladdin.
you
Yep.
know, even Mulan, I would say, kind of in that grouping a little bit too.
Mulan's a
Um,
good movie.
Mulan is a great movie. But no, this one just I think it's just the animation really kind of blew me away. I mean, it's the first one they used that computer animated scenes. You have the scene with the dancing, which is a beautiful
Hmm.
scene. Some of the songs. I mean, I don't. When I was thinking of our favorite song earlier, I mean, "Be Our Guest" and even the song by Gaston. I love villain songs. They're always fun.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
That like Gaston.
yeah. It's just like there's just something about like the visuals that go along with those songs that really kind of amp them up a little bit. And just all those songs have really good video visuals. I mean, even like probably my least favorite song is the Beauty and the Beast song. 'Cause I guess it's just too on the nose. They say
I've
Beauty and
been
the
told this time.
Yeah,
It's got Angela Lansbury though. Murder
I
She Wrote.
I know. And but like I guess like that one's really good just because you have like the whole flowing of them dancing and stuff. But Gaston, the Gaston song is so much fun. I just love
Hmm.
how they're just drinking beer and just fighting each other in a bar and just
I love
again,
his little sidekick, that like mutant toady dude who
yeah,
like Gaston looks
LeFou,
like a human being,
LeFou,
and then like
yeah,
he's like this like like
yeah.
like Gaston.
But that's like that's what bully guys do, right? They get like a little like toady like to go next to them
Hmm.
to do all their dirty work because they're gonna be yes men, I mean, there's a
Yep.
point in that
Yep.
movie where he stays at their house and becomes a snowman for like because he stays throughout winter waiting for like the dad to come home, and then like when
Oh.
he shows up, he's like a snowman.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but I don't know. I just the animation, and then the biggest thing though. I mean, you watch that movie over and over again, which I did. Because I liked it. I watched a lot of movies over and over again back in the day, and it's hard to find a spot that I feel like, well, I really wish they didn't do this part. It's kind of awkward. So I don't want to see this part of the movie. And there's always a scene like, okay, let's get it
Mhm.
going. Like everything just sort of all makes sense. It all is
Flows
all
pretty
it's
well.
all fits. Everything progresses the story forward. It's not
Okay.
necessarily there to, yeah, you have your songs like "Be Our Guest" is sort of just like her, just like I guess concerning her relationship with the appliances. This,
Yes.
but it just I don't know. It's just like it also adds character, and it's like it shows like you can get like kind of deep, I guess, with this movie, which I don't know why I am, but like shows like their excitement for actually having a guest for the first time, and
Mhm. Mhm.
even the beginning where it's just kind of like the song explains who Belle is. Like you don't need to know who Belle is; the song does it for you, because that song
Exactly.
does it gives you all the backstory you need. You don't see like in like the live action film, like she came from a city, her dad moved here, and she's an inventor. It failed, and so they moved from the city to the town, and now they're in the town. No one likes her because she's different from the city. Like they don't you don't need to see any of that.
We didn't really need that. No, we just needed a song of her walking through this provincial
And
town. What
she's
is the song?
yeah, but it obviously, and she's just odd because she likes to read books. I don't know.
Yeah, She doesn't want to get married, especially to somebody like Gaston.
I love when
Nothing
he
wrong with that.
comes in and like assumes that he's gonna get married by her, and he like puts his like dirty boots on the table, and her expressions are funny to me. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. Again, I don't know. And I think there's another scene too where how they present the beast, like how they start off with him being this scary thing, but they use the use of his eyes as what represents his, I guess, humanity, and I
Hmm.
always like that, and how it changes throughout the movie. And then, but when you first meet him, how he kind of walks in the light when you first see him. You don't really see him for a while. They do that kind of
Yeah.
like hidden monster thing. But and I remember like the part where you first see him though, because he gets like he captures the father, and then she comes and gets him, and they make the deal that she'd be the captive, and he like
Yep.
just picks him up and throws him in this like spider like walking carriage thing. I remember like being like so creeped out by that thing.
Oh, yeah. It was like, why is that the way it is? Like, we see it again. Like after that, like it's just like,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
so. He's just another
yeah.
servant. I just like. Well, my question is
Another
where
servant. I
what
have questions about these servants.
where are all the other appliances that they had? Did they just like become
That's a
them?
very good. What happened to the candelabra that horny candelabra was? That's my main question. Is it like I just was not expecting such a horny feather duster and candelabra. Like I remember seeing pictures of them, and I knew that they were characters. I didn't know that they were boning in the back. Like I just didn't know. Or candling. I don't know what you would call that.
He was turning up the heat. I don't know. He's,
Just as long as it's consensual appliance on appliance sex.
I mean,
That's all that matters.
she was okay with it. So I mean,
That's really playing with fire, like flames and a feather duster. I mean, come on. That's
some people like it that
hey,
way. I guess
like little danger in love. I know, but ooh.
we're just talking like Disney does. Just sexualize everything. I mean, like Gaston's
They
like
did it first.
like Gaston's like what are those girls that follow him? What do you call that? Like the ones that are
Sleazy?
obsessed. Well, no, these three girls in the village that are obsessed with him. And they wear like clothes
Yeah,
that are like almost like falling off them. But yeah. So,
yeah.
anyways, uh, no, I just love the movie. The only thing about that movie that I would say is kind of weird is the
What's that?
moment where he turns back into a human and he like he comes like he you see the light coming out of his toes for some reason, and it's in his hands, and is like it's just like it's like just like lasers,
You remember
and then like he like he gets up from becoming human. You see he's a human, but you don't see his face, and then she grabs like him to turn him around, and it's just like bam, like his face in your face. Because
that?
they're trying to, yeah, no, they're just trying to emphasize the eyes, you know, like to kind of show that she sees his eyes and can tell that it's the same person.
Yep.
But I don't know, I like the ending. It's like it doesn't like show. Obviously, they fell in love, and granted, they probably will get married like every other Disney princess. But that's not what they're talking about in this film either. It's just, I mean, granted, yeah, you could say she had Stockholm syndrome or what have you, but
That's a good point. She did fall in love with her captor.
but he was a nice captive. He you know, he
But he's nice. Look, she helped him break the curse. And it wasn't like she like immediately fell into his arms. No, there was a lot of that. And I think that's why like the appliances were getting so excited because
well,
they
well,
were excited about it.
one especially was excited.
Yes. Flame on. He was. They were all excited because the potential was like, oh, if this person comes, then they'll break the curse, and then they can go back to being human beings
And be
and
servants again.
have sex like regular human beings, and not like appliances and silverware and furniture or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Um,
No. I just
yeah,
find it
man.
funny. It's like
Right.
they changed that in the live action film where they make like everyone lost their memory that this was their lord. Like it's like, yeah, it's really weird. It's like, and some of like the people in the village like know the people that turned into appliances. Like that's like how the ending is. And like I said, it's not bad. It makes sense. It's just I prefer the animated version because it's like to the point. It's like this is the story of the Beauty and the Beast. We have a villain. It makes sense why he's a villain. She falls in love with him because of X, Y, Z. He gives her a fucking library. Like, come on.
It's true. She does have books.
Well, it was pretty
Yeah, Tom
awesome.
didn't have books.
That was an awesome
Just Tom
library.
was a dick.
I've always wanted a library like that. It's been my dream.
No, I know. I want just like a room with shelves of books. Like that's it.
But
And, yeah.
well, Paul,
Mhm.
I want to know what your answer is. Like I said, I have two thoughts. I don't know if it's a '90s one or a '70s one, and I'm gonna lean with '70s one. That's my guess. But I'm not gonna say what it is. You could tell me what your favorite Disney animated film is.
Just like you grabbed both your butt cheeks and laughed so hard at the South Park movie and then fell to the left or to the right,
Okay.
you can continue leaning towards the 70s, and it's Robin Hood.
I was like,
Animated. I don't know why you just reminded me of that when you said you were like.
I don't know why. I
this way.
was like, was this movie a funny one? Am I wrong? Like, Robin Hood's not
Really out of left field.
Robin Hood's not that
really
funny. I mean, there's a Beatles reference that's kind of funny, but
Robin Hood is not that funny. Are you serious? Robin Hood is super funny. Are you kidding? Prince John with the mommy, like I've got a dirty thumb.
I love that. I love that film. It's not
Robin Hood. The actual Robin Hood is kind of forgettable, but Little John is great.
Yep.
Friar Tuck is great.
Oh, he is good.
When he belly pushes the Sheriff of Nottingham, who's also really good. Like belly pushes him out of the church, and I love Hiss. Like it's all about the side characters.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. They're all good.
Cluck. They're just like Maid Marian and Robin Hood, and their love story is like okay, that's like the center of it. But the little like kids too, like the little bunny rabbit and his sisters, and the tortoise that like follows them around. Like it's full of like the perfect kind of side characters, and they're all kind of funny and silly, and the songs are good. The love song is the one thing that is forgettable and doesn't kind of falls short because it's just like
it's so
staring at each other for a long time.
That love song is so awkward. I remember that's like the part that I was like, okay, let's just move on. Come on, let's get back to the side character.
That one is one you can fast forward right through. But I love Prince John.
I
changed my answer. He's my favorite Disney villain because he's just the worst kind of person, and I love how they trick him. I love just everything.
Isn't there like a battle at the end where like things are on fire? I'm trying to remember the end of that movie.
Yes, it's they're chasing. They were stealing all the gold out of the castle, and it's like the climax of the movie, and like the castle's like burning at the same time.
This scene was really cool. I'm trying to vaguely remember it now. It's been a while since I've watched that one. I tried watching it probably like 4 years ago with Callista, my oldest, and it was hard. I had a hard time getting through it. I think it's just because of just tiredness. Like I was just like, it's like I can't. It's like I guess it's like it's that old '70s style of Disney. Like the way the voices sound, they're very dry, I guess is the best word I can use. So it's like I just like kind of got lost in like it was just like, and Calista, obviously Calista wasn't really getting into it too much either, so it didn't really help as much. But I loved it as a kid. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to belittle the movie. Like I love the scene with the vultures. That's the Beatles, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Is that the reference?
Yeah.
But no, I love those. The I forget what their names are, but yeah, the ones with the crossbow.
Like what do they say? Like what do you want to do? Like don't start that again or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about it, and I know that it does seem kind of dry. It's definitely, I feel like there's a lot more humor in there for adults, like the minstrel, the rooster. You should
Hmm.
know about minstrels, right? You'd like that rooster. I love his. I love his.
No one's gonna get that reference. I don't know if anyone
Yep.
will get it.
Nope. Don't care.
One of these days, I'm gonna find that. I'm
Oh,
gonna find it, and we're gonna put it on one of these podcasts. We're gonna watch it together.
oh God. Yeah. Let's do a drinking game to that. So the minstrel kind of like setting up the story and how like the old Robin Hood story is like it shows like the Errol Flynn style like Robin Hood story. It's like, oh, this is a story about Robin Hood that the animals tell. Like it's a little bit different than you humans. I don't know. I just liked it. It was different. It was unlike
Like,
any other.
let me explain why they're humans. It's just because. It's just because. Let's just explain why they're not human.
Animating a human is too hard. We'll make him a fox and a
See,
bear.
now King John, it was one of those lions that I feel like I've seen in a different animated film by Disney. I know they weren't the same character, but still, I always felt that they kind of drew him the same way.
The face is very similar. Yeah, I could see you could draw some. You could see
But
some
no, it's a
similarities.
particular thing. It was bedknobs and broomsticks. So in bed, I don't know if you remember that. So they go to like an island. Yeah, they go inside of a book, and then there's a lion that's the king of the island, and it's a lion. It looks just like King John, but he likes soccer. Yeah, he likes soccer. So they have a soccer match.
I don't remember this movie at all. I remember the bed.
I loved
but
bedknobs and broomsticks. Come on,
I was more of a chitty chitty bang bang kind of guy.
They fought Nazis using floating armor. Come on. You don't remember this at all?
You really could have just said anything, and I would have just been like, okay.
Go! It's on Disney Plus. Go watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks. My kids loved it.
All right, I will look that one up.
But anyways, it's like
yeah,
the lion looks very similar. But yeah, I liked. No, I figured that was your guess was the Robin Hood.
Such a good movie. It's one I would rewatch.
Aladdin was my 90s pick for you.
Oh, stereotyping. No, it's good. No, I actually wrote some notes about Aladdin.
I don't think you look like a blue genie at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I'm not like Robin Williams at all.
You have a Will Smith vibe, though. I can see that.
Thank you. I was writing notes for like a few of these, and Aladdin I was going to mention as a shout out, and I was like, Agrabah, more like Agra, boring. There's a lot of that movie that could be just like short.
I don't know. Robin Williams makes
Robin Williams showcase.
Robin Williams makes that movie. Like it definitely does. Like I
That's
don't mind.
really
Like
good.
I like Jafar, obviously. Like I liked his character as a villain. The songs are really fun. Like I mean, all the songs in that movie are good. I don't remember any bad ones, to be honest.
And the songs tell you exactly what you need to know about the characters.
Yeah,
there was a lot more palace intrigue than I guess I needed, but I do like Jasmine's father with his feather just falling. That's his only characteristic is that a feather keeps falling in his face.
Oh, and he gives Polly a cracker all the time. He just
yes, he's a dundering buffoon. I do love hearing Gilbert Gottfried say like, "I can't wait to take him and his awful daughter and throw him off a cliff." Like just hearing him, and then Jafar is like, "I love the way your sick little mind works."
I know. I think that's really what it is. I just love how he like his only friend is a parrot, and like
evil parrot.
Like, where did he find this parrot? Did he train him to be that way?
I don't know.
Is he a magic parrot?
Maybe he could be an enchanted parrot. I feel like the parrot is actually a little bit more evil than him because Jafar doesn't ever actually come out and say like, "I want to kill that person." He's like, "Easy, parrot, easy, take it easy."
But his final form is really creepy. When he turns into the snake. When he turns into the snake.
Oh. Yes,
the snake.
That's right.
The snake. That's intense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I wasn't sure if I should give Aladdin a shout out or at all. That might have been one of my honorable mentions too. It was really hard to really kind of like narrow it. They're all kind of equal footing. Like that's the thing with Disney anime movies. They found this like cookie cutter formula for a lot of them. So they all kind of give you that kind of same feeling, right? You know, there's a lot of other good ones. Like I remember loving like 101 Dalmatians a lot. Growing up, but Good pick.
Thank you. I like it. I'll watch it again probably in a few months or so. But
Watch
so Justin, why don't you?
Winnie the Pooh. Give that a shot.
Okay, I will. I'll give that a fair shake. Why don't you tell the audience what our topic is for next week here? What are we going to be
We're
doing?
gonna do favorite sci-fi TV show.
Ooh.
I think this
So
should
we're not.
be fun. I like science fiction. Probably one of my favorite genres. So, but
Yeah, I
there's a
think I
lot of.
like it too.
I think I already know Paul's favorite. Maybe unless he's gonna throw me for a loop and bring
I
some
don't know,
random
man.
thing.
Well, I wouldn't bring a random thing. I got to really like sit and examine and do some self-reflection. Really, think about what
Would
I.
you
Yeah, you know
consider
what it is.
Captain Planet a science fiction show?
It's an environmental. No, it's environmental. It's kind of propaganda, but I mean, it's the good kind. It's like trying to.
That's the thing I've always
It's
noticed is
public
like
service announcements.
when you look in like genres on like Hulu and stuff, they like loop in weird things for science fiction. Like you always end up
Just
find it's just like weird. It's like sci-fi fantasy. It's like they just try to like blend it all into one thing. It's like that's
people.
like how is this science fiction? Like it's just about a robot. Like I don't understand.
That's like such an old way of classifying things too, like the sci-fi, fantasy, and like just kind of lumping all that stuff together. No,
It's
no.
the nerdy shit. That's what it
Yeah, it's like if you want to watch a real movie, they're over here in drama or comedy or action, but sci-fi
is.
fantasy we'll put over here for
But
your
no,
nerdy
there's
stuff.
been a lot of really good science fiction shows that have come out. I would say in the past 15, 20 years, but there's a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of old school ones as well. So
yeah, lot to sift through. I'm looking forward to this one,
you're
doing the
gonna
research on
you're
this.
gonna watch the show again. It's gonna start right now.
All of them, all of them. Actually, right now, Kristen is watching Star Trek Discovery, the second season of that. It's pretty interesting,
I've
I
heard
gotta
good
say.
things. I've heard good things about it. I've not
Yeah,
seen it yet.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
Hopefully we can talk more about that next week.
That sounds good. Well, this has been Playing Favorites. I'm Paul.
And I'm Justin.
Let's do it again next week.